Okay, there it is. All right, let's send this out. It's first stream. Let me just send this to a couple people that might be interested. And then we'll get into it. What we're breaking down here is NFL Week 1. Picks against the spread. We're going to pick every game. Talk a little bit about the totals. Maybe if we got a caller, we can talk some props if they've got any insight. I don't. But I've done this for the past few years. I've broken down every game in the NFL against the spread. Done pretty well for myself. And instead of sending out an email newsletter, I'd like to start streaming this instead. All right, let me just post this on Twitter and then I'll send it to my gambling group chat. Philly, there's an easier way to do this. Just go to your YouTube channel on your phone and copy the link from there, dummy. All right. Tweet it out. Send it to the gambling chat. And anybody else that I think might be interested in this. So let's start. I wanted to get this out yesterday, but YouTube makes you wait 24 hours after you choose that like you want to start streaming. And I've only ever streamed on Mixcloud. This is my first time using StreamYard as well. So let's see how this goes. I like it so far, actually. But I want to get picks out before the Thursday night game. So I think I can share my screen. There we go. So I built this nice spreadsheet. I'm an accountant, so I built this nice spreadsheet that'll kind of automate things here at the top. And it'll give me, how often I pick a home or an away team. It was really weird that it worked out 50-50 this week. But apparently I like the dogs. I like home and road dogs equally, as well as home and road favorites equally. And then this is just white text. We'll calculate how often I win. So I can, you can kind of, based on your own trends, kind of make some adjustments throughout the season, because I will pick every game against the spread, and then I'll automate everything else and we'll populate our records week by week. And wins, pushes, losses. Don't count pushes as wins because they're not wins. So technically they count as losses on my rate here. So just color coordinated. I got the blue here is the Thursday night game. That's tonight. We got the Cowboys down in Florida. And let's kick it off with this one. The big reason that I'm going with the Cowboys here, and I don't really like doing this. They're on Hard Knocks this season. I'm not a fan of picking teams that are on Hard Knocks. I think they tend to underperform, but there is that angle of the Super Bowl hangover, and 8 and a hook. They might only win by 7. I'm liking the Cowboys tonight. I could be wrong. A lot of people like the Bucks, but that's as we continue doing this, you'll see I do like to fade the public, and that was a big Stu Feiner thing years ago. He did a podcast with the Pardon My Take guys. They asked him about his sports gambling history, and he said I always like to fade the public when I play craps. I everybody hates me, but you might be on the right side. People are idiots. I'll say this in episode 1. I'll say it again. People are idiots. I'm an idiot. But if a lot of people are on one side, I want to be on the other side. So this one actually went from looking at the line movement here, open at 6.5. I had it when I built the spreadsheet. I'm going to leave it. I don't adjust numbers. Once I pull them for the week, we're leaving it at that. Whatever it closes at, tough. I'm sorry. The line's actually 9 right now, which kind of makes me want to go with the Bucks. But I do think, I capped this at 8.5. I think that 8.5's. I don't like the phrase "it's too many points," but I do think that the Cowboys turn out. Dak actually had a really great season before being injured last year. I don't know the stat offhand, but it was like yards thrown and touchdowns per game. He set the NFL record. So we're going with the Cowboys tonight. Next one, I'm always going to have the Patriots on top. That's just in the sports betting app that I use. I have the Patriots in as my favorite team, so they show at the top of the list. Really simple on this one. Picking the Patriots at home -3. They're facing the Dolphins. What you need to be worried about is when the Patriots go down to Miami, not when they're playing at home. So I'm not really concerned about this one. Belichick not been great in home openers the last couple of years, but I don't know if Mac Jones is going to outperform Tua, but I am excited for this game. As a Patriots fan, it's very seldom that I'm going to pick against them. If I definitely think they're going to lose, yeah, I'll pick against them. But for this one, 3, I think they can get it done. And another one to note: Will Fuller, the 5th, serving the last game of his suspension. So Tua is going to have one less weapon for that game. Moving on, you got the Jags heading to Houston. Houston +3. So with my spreadsheet here, just to keep it consistent, I always do the line on the home team. And I'm going with the Jags here. I think that Houston is going to be competing for that number one pick. Let's hang on. I got a couple stats here. Here's one I pulled from my guy. I like Ralph Michaels, contributes to Wager Talk. Here's a stat for you, and we're going to bring it up a little bit later. Teams with a win total of 5 or less only hit 34% in week 1 the last 5 years. So that applies to 2 teams this week, Houston being 1 and Detroit being 2. I think they're both going to stink. Detroit working with a new quarterback, Jared Goff. That's going to be a tough one. Let's stay on this Jags game. I have a Jags fan. A friend. He's high on this. Only 3 points. I like it. I don't love it. Moving down the list here. Steelers coming to Buffalo. I'm streaming this from Syracuse, New York. So we have a little bit of a bias. I don't like the Bills, but all I hear is Bills, Bills, Bills. I'm 31 years old, and probably since I'm 5 years old, every year has been the Bills' year. And this might be it, honestly. They're certainly my pick to win the division. I don't think that's a bold take. But 6.5 against the Steelers. What was that video on Twitter or TikTok or Instagram, whatever it was? There's some guy in the Steelers locker room clowning around. Lack of focus. See, these are things that you're not going to get on other shows. I love Josh Allen. I think he's the difference maker to get that 6.5 point cover for him. Let's just see if that line's moved at all. No, still 6.5. So it opened at 6. We're at 6.5. I don't think that's any trouble for them. These are not the Steelers of old, though Ben Roethlisberger is getting up there. I don't think he finishes the season. I'll give you that bold take. But Bills to cover 6.5. So we got the Jets at the Panthers. I had some reasoning to take the Panthers, but I'm actually going to disagree with it. I got a stat here for you, and it's going to come up again. Teams that win 6 or fewer games in the previous year, and you're a road dog in week 1, hit at a 67% rate. So that applies to 2 teams this week, and I'm taking them both. We're going to talk about it next. That applies to the Jets and the Eagles this week. So I think a lot of people are going to discount the Jets, and like I mentioned before, when the public is on one side, I think people are going to take the Panthers. New coach. They look all right. I just don't think that they're going to cover here, and I think that not a lot of people are going to take the Jets. And I think we're going to be on the right side of this. And same thing for this next one. Eagles at the Falcons, catching 3. I think they win outright. And that goes with our 67% hit rate stat there. I don't believe in the Falcons. Moving on to the next one, color-coded yellow and bold is going to be my lock of the week every week. I don't understand this. Joe Burrow's back from injury, played half the season. Man, he was fine. He was fine at offensive line troubles last year, but I'm a Mike Zimmer guy. He's the OG Chaw Dog. There was that one. I just love that one picture from like 5-6 years ago where he had like 7 pouches of Red Man in the center console of his car. That's just hilarious to me. And like sneaking Red Man in like a bag of David's sunflower seeds on the sideline. Just hilarious. I'm a Mike Zimmer guy. This is my lock of the week is the Vikings. This one, and I have another pick later. I follow a sharp guy on Twitter and also agreed with me. Put that out early. Taking the Vikings to win by more than 3. This next one, the Cardinals heading to Tennessee. Derrick Henry is an absolute force, and my sister's fiance is a big Titans fan, and I hate going against this one. I think a lot of people are going to be on the Titans. Nobody cares about your fantasy team. I drafted Kyler Murray. I think he's really good, great at scrambling. This is another one, just fade the public, and I'm going with the road dog. So the Niners head to Detroit to face the Lions. Like I said earlier, Jared Goff, new quarterback for the Lions. This was the other one that my sharp guy on Twitter gave out. This is actually a public pick, but I mentioned that I think Houston and Detroit are going to be battling it out for that number 1 pick. And calling back that stat before, teams with a win total of 5 or less only hit 34% in week 1 the last 5 years. So going with the Niners. They weren't spectacular last year, but I think they get it done. This one was wild. Seahawks heading to Indianapolis. 2 great teams. This might be the best game of the week. The line swung wildly, and I'm sticking with it. Colts opened as favorites, and was this the one? Let me just double check. Yeah, this one swung, opened as Seahawks 2.5-point favorites. They moved to now it's at 3. When I wrote this up, it was 2.5. So they went from 2.5-point underdogs to 2.5-point favorites. Now sitting at 3-point favorites. I'm not buying that. The Seahawks, another public team. I think the Colts were quietly very good. I'm just going to stick with that. I like the Colts as favorites, and I'm sticking, even when the line moves, I'm going to stick with it and not flip flop. So and you know what? And I'm not a Seahawks fan. I'm a Patriots fan, but I just don't trust the Seahawks. I think they played a couple close game, maybe had a couple more wins than they should have had last season. And on that same vein, moving on to the Chargers at the football team. This was a big one for me. Week 1 last year was I took the football team over the Eagles, and I believe that the football team had 3 straight scores to not only cover, but win outright. And I got an Eagles fan that's in one of my group chats giving the same old public uh, claims. They don't even have a team name. Like, that has nothing to do with the players. A highly ranked defense, and we're catching them as home dogs here. Let me just double check and see if that moved. They're actually 1-point favorites now. I wrote this yesterday. They were 1-point dogs, so I'm going to leave it at that. There has to be a cutoff at some point for these numbers, so I'm leaving them as 1-point dogs for this. If we wanted to be super accurate, I guess I could, pay and sign up for the Westgate Superbook contest and get official lines. But I when I wrote this yesterday, they were 1-point dogs. Love them as 1-point dogs. And I think they win outright regardless. So even as 1-point favorites, I think that's fine. I don't trust Justin Herbert at all. And this one, Green Bay heading not to New Orleans. I believe they're playing this one in Texas. They played this last year in the Superdome. And this is another one because of the hurricane. They're playing it, I believe, in Texas. This is another one where the line moved wildly. Packers opened as 2.5-point dogs. They're another huge public team owned by the public. Right now 3.5-point dogs. I had them yesterday as 4.5-point dogs. The Saints, with no Drew Brees. This is another one where I think that the Packers are going to be the public team here, and I want to go the other way. Same with this next one. I don't have a lot of analysis on Broncos at the Giants. I just trust that Saquon's going to come back healthy and be fine. I need to do more research into the Broncos. I'm really not familiar with their team. Or for the or with the Giants for that matter. But I do think that a lot of people are going to take the favorite here, and I like taking the home dog. This next one, Cleveland, the Browns heading to Arrowhead to face the Chiefs. Again, the Chiefs, a huge public team. Patrick Mahomes is basically the face of the NFL. The Browns have a super high win total, 10 or more, I believe. But I'll give you a quick stat here. Teams that lost in the playoffs, okay, the prior year by double digits, and that applies to 4 teams here: the Seahawks, the Ravens, the Saints, and the Chiefs. These teams go 38% against the spread in week 1 the following year. Now, I know I just said that I picked the Saints, but for that one, I want to fade the public. I think that a lot of people are going to be on the Packers. I said it last year that Aaron Rodgers was on a destruction tour with Jordan Love on his heels. I think he probably repeats that. Not to go back to games, but out of 4 teams, we can expect one of those to win with a 38% hit rate. So I will be fading the Chiefs, taking the Browns plus 6.5. Closing out here shortly, we got the Bears at the Rams. I'm a Sean McVay guy. I like the nice young coach. I think he's got a lot of good ideas. He's done a lot for that franchise. New quarterback. But, I think the Bears are quietly, I think they start off slow. They'll probably put in Justin Fields maybe week 5. Around that time, I think they'll turn it around. And I think the Rams are probably the public team here. But You gotta take some home favorites. I think that'll be a good game. Run it up a little bit. And then the last one, Monday night, we got the Ravens at the Raiders. Just had an injury report today from Rap. What did he say? Ravens cut short practice today after cornerback Marcus Peters and running back Gus Edwards sustained potentially significant knee injuries on back-to-back plays. Teams having tests done on both players. So they're already down J.K. Dobbins out for the season, the Ravens are. And John Gruden's been touting this new defense for the Raiders. Lamar Jackson, always a threat, but, you know, because of that, I think a lot of people are going to be on the Ravens this week, and we're going to fade that and go with the Raiders. So, for this newsletter that I always emailed out to friends and coworkers, what I always did was a lock, a dog, and a 6-point teaser, 2-leg teaser for the week. And we've got that here up top on the spreadsheet. So the lock of the week, we already went over Vikings -3 at the Bengals. The dog that I like this week the most, I'm going to say the Jets. Jets +5.5 against the Panthers. And then a 6-point teaser. You're not going to see me tease totals that often, folks. It's definitely to your advantage to tease a side rather than teasing a total up or down 6 points. So I actually didn't research this too much, but I'll give you my thought process as I go through this. So what we want to try to avoid with a 6-point teaser is crossing 0, because you lose value on that -0.5, 0, and then +0.5. So what we want to do is there's a strategy called a Wong teaser where you tease games that are 3 points or fewer, and then you can cross some key numbers in 3, 6, and 7. So what I'm going to do here for my 2-leg teaser, I'm going to take let's bring Arizona up to 9. And Arizona up to, I'm sorry, I'm getting distracted by my neighbors. Let's take Arizona up to 9. And I like the hook here. Let's take the Saints up to 10.5. So lock Minnesota -3. Dog of the week going to be the Jets +5.5. The teaser of the week is going to be the Cardinals +9 and the Saints +10.5. We'll see how we do. Right at a half hour here for the stream. A little bit longer than I anticipated. Hopefully we can get some calls in the future. This was just week 1. Instead of typing all this up, I think it's easier to talk through it. It's more fun, certainly. And hopefully we can get some interaction, get some people calling in with some props. I didn't go over any prop bets for the week. And maybe somebody talking about some totals. Just a couple other stats that I had. We can go over this one next week as well. Division games tend to go over weeks 1 and 2. So weeks 3 and later, you want to look for the under. Just another angle for you to look at. And the other stat I had for you, since 1989, before I was even born, week 1 home dogs go under the total 59% of the time. Thanks for tuning in. I don't even know if I had any listeners. It's showing one concurrent listener. New streaming software, new platform here on YouTube. But I'll be back again. I don't know if I'll be able to do it at 6 o'clock every week, so I don't want to keep that profit picks at 6 tagline. But I'll definitely try to get this out. I want to do Wednesday nights before, so we can capture the Thursday night, and then all the rest of the games for the week. Was typically what I did with the newsletter, was send it out by Wednesday. So if you have anything you want to contribute to the channel, please feel free to DM me, or you can call in this number, 315-925-5973. That's 315-925-KYPD. You can leave me a message, and if you want to chirp my picks, maybe Sunday in the middle of the afternoon, I'm doing terrible, and call up and rip me. That's fine. Just trying to give some analysis here, some angles that you can look at, and hopefully make you a smarter sports gambler. I just want to sign off here. Make sure that you're always betting responsibly, and we will see you next week. Thanks.